It pains me to see a game that is as just doomed from start to finish as Skull and Bones. Now, if you guys have watched particularly podcasts now, the main channel, you would know that I've been covering this game since it was first announced. I've been covering this game for over 3.5 years at this point, and it's always been a game I really want. I want it to exist. I want the game to release. I want to play it. It was announced right after Pirates of the Caribbean 5 came out. We were riding high, the biggest wave at the time of the channel on Pirates of the Caribbean. I still talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, and I love that kind of the ship combat, the pirating, all that kind of stuff, the movies in particular. So when this game was announced, I was like, thank God. Imagine this game coming out just a year after Pirates 5. We have all of these people that are part of a Pirates of the Caribbean community, and then we get to play a Pirates game together. And that never has happened. Now, there's been a long, long tale of what's been going on with Skull and Bones. Number one is the delay at this point of more than 3 years, you could say, because the game was supposed to come out in 2018, was delayed, was delayed, was delayed. Here we are, end of 2020, going into 2021, and it does not look like it's coming out in 2021, or at least the first half. Now, we only technically know the game's releasing before March of 2021. It was supposed to be Far Cry 6, no longer Far Cry 6. Now Far Cry releases later, right? Actually, I believe, an indefinite time because it got delayed. So, Skull and Bones, it's possible it could be like a fall 2021 game. Now, is this news as bad as it maybe was when I first saw it? I mean, it's still pretty darn awful. I don't think it means the worst thing in the world for Skull and Bones, although it's just something, again, that the game just doesn't flat out need. Ubisoft removes managing director of Skull and Bones. Now, he is not, by the way, this guy, and this is from a leadership audit that was obtained. He had been in the role since 2018 and was responsible for overseeing the studio's many projects, which include not just Skull and Bones, but also co-production responsibilities on Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed series, and Immortals Phoenix Rising. Now, technically, he's not fired. He's fired from the position. I would go so far to say, I mean, it's difficult. He was demoted. He's not going to have that position anymore. He is going to have a lower position, and he also is leaving Ubisoft Singapore, and he's just going to be somewhere else in Ubisoft. Now, there's no, they didn't say a specific reason for this. Okay, the rumor of the reason is that he was doing inappropriate things with other coworkers, we can say, and we'll just kind of leave it at that because I don't know what is necessarily, acceptable by YouTube. So just continuing down this line. Now, again, is he the most important role on the team? I mean, he is a pretty important role. Does losing him mean another massive delay? No, not necessarily, but again, it's just this game has been in so much trouble. There's been so many people that have been fired. Remember, the leadership of this game has completely switched over because the way that it was going was not the right way, or was not a way that was going to work, basically. And so I believe they switched people watching over this game, or the direction of this game, at least 1 to 2 times. And now you have this guy who, again, I don't know how instrumental he is in a day-to-day basis, but if he's overseeing this game, he oversaw, Immortals Phoenix Rising. I mean, he has a pretty substantial role. Now, the weird thing is, why not just literally fully get rid of this guy? Because they even said, based off of the audit, it's impossible for him to keep his current position. So it's all right, well, why is he still there at all then? I mean, yeah, he's not with the same co-workers that allegedly stuff happened. And again, I've always believed in innocent until proven guilty. Does that mean he is innocent? I mean, he could very well be guilty. He probably is guilty, but innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, if they did an audit and they found out some stuff, well, then he is guilty. And then you're just going to put him with another group of people. It's odd because now you have this. I mean, this is Kotaku, so you have this now around the internet. So this guy, they all are, I'm not even going to say his name, but don't you think people inside of Ubisoft are going to know who he is, know he has a history of doing certain things, and they say, oh, guess who's joining the team tomorrow? And then it's him. You know what I mean? That just doesn't seem right. Now, am I saying blacklist him, make sure he can never get a job again? No. I mean, people, should you get a second chance? I think that's up to an individual to make that call, but it's just odd that they made it very clear. They're like, oh, no. He is no longer going to be doing this overseeing, this big director job. But we don't want to get rid of him. I mean, maybe the guy's a visionary. We don't want to get rid of him. We need to put him in a different team. So it's just odd. It's very, very odd. But it's, again, not something you want. I mean, can we go just a little bit with Skull and Bones without people being fired or without there to be like switcheroos where it's like, oh, this team's not working out with them. We need to, or this direction of the game isn't working out. I would say that, this is a terrible, it's like it really is like a development purgatory for this game, okay? It's one of the worst I've ever seen. Honestly, Halo Infinite, I would say, is much worse than this, though. I don't know why I want to throw Halo Infinite in, but I'm just thinking of other examples recently. Dying Light 2 could be an example, although we don't know much about Dying Light 2 because I feel like there's been a lot of issues, but they just haven't said anything. Halo Infinite is just a pure dumpster fire of what's going on there with all the people working on it. Again, I hope that the game's good. I'm going to buy an Xbox specifically so one day I can play that game. But it sucks when we have these things. It really does. And to me, I love Halo. I've loved Halo for a long time. I'm excited for it. Dying Light. I like Dying Light. I'm going to get Dying Light 2. But Skull and Bones, yes, it's a new original IP, but I feel like I'm closest to that than any of those other games that have been in messy situations. Again, with Pirates of the Caribbean, I mean, it means that movie franchise means more to me than I think a lot of people will ever truly realize, which is okay. I adore that franchise. I adore it a lot. And again, if you guys have been with the channel, you've seen I've talked about Pirates of the Caribbean for 4 years now, over 4 years now. So that franchise means a lot, and that game was announced, I would say, at a perfect time for the channel, and I had so many big plans for it of what to do with that game because I absolutely loved the ship combat of Black Flag. I really stopped playing Assassin's Creed for the most part after 3. Now, I picked it up with you. I think I've played it because my cousin would always get it. I've played them all, but I stopped owning and truly caring about it after 3. But I actually did buy Black Flag. I bought it day 1. I played it for the ship combat, and that's really all I ever did. I didn't like any of the other stuff. I didn't really feel I really felt betrayed by the franchise after Assassin's Creed 3. So to have a game that was solely the best parts, and it's still what everybody says about Black Flag, right? The potential for it, or the premise for it, is let's do, I guess subjectively, the best part of Black Flag, which is the ship stuff, okay? And that just really, connected with me. So I wish the game the best. I want the game to release. I hope it releases in 2021. Do I think it will? Probably not. Probably 2022, unless something else happens, which case just cancel it already, right? I really do want this game to release, though. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this game, the situations that this game has got itself in? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up, and I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.